Hello everyone and welcome to a brand new week of Road to TCG Worlds 2016. Now, pre-releases are well underway, but the cards for Breakpoint are not yet available in the trading card game online. You can be sure that whenever they do get released, I will showcase a small pack opening and I will give my comments on the cards we pull. And you can expect the first week of release for the channel to feature completely new decks such as Greninja Break, potentially Golduck Break, Gyarados EX, Scizor EX, or updates of the previous decks with the new cards. So, having said that, this week the poll was won by Manectric Raikou, so that's the deck I'm going to feature. It was once again a very close race between Raichu Crobat and Mega Manectric Raikou, and I think Raichu Crobat is probably the last competitive deck we have yet to feature in the channel since the last set got released. So I think I will skip the poll this week, and that will be the choice for next week, but I'll think about it. If you have any suggestions, feel free to leave the comments down below. And just a quick reminder of the Shaymin EX Full Art giveaway. Today is the 25th and the 31st is the last day to participate. If you want more details, be sure to check out my Twitter. Now, moving on to a deck list. We have Mega Manectric with Raikou. Now, this does make us quite weak to fighting type decks, but Raikou is a pretty great attacker. With its ability, Shining Body, you reduce 20 damage, and if you pair that up with the Rough Seas Healing and the Assault Vest, Raikou can become a very difficult Pokemon to take down. And Thunderlance, of course, will always do at least 110 damage based on the energies we are running, which are all lightning energy. Now, pretty beefy attacker, 1 retreat cost, which is pretty great. And in order to really get the most out of Raikou, we are going to use Mega Manectric EX. This is one of the cards that got featured at the beginning of the channel. It's been a while since I've used it, but Turbo Bolt is a pretty great attack. Not only is it cheap and it deals a lot of damage, you power up your benched Pokemon with more energy. It's a truly amazing attack, and there's really no drawbacks to it. 110 sometimes falls short of getting some KOs, or against 230 HP Megas, 2 Turbo Bolts don't KO, but that's where Raikou's extra potential damage comes in. 210 HP is also pretty great, and makes it hard for Night March to really one-hit KO Mega Manectrics, and the free retreat cost is just absolutely amazing. Now, to get there, we do have the Manectric EXs. We did feature these guys relatively not too long ago. Assault Laser is also a very nice option. It's a pretty great attack since mostly everything has Pokemon Tool cards, and we are running 2 Team Flare Grunt head ringers ourselves in order to Team Flare head ringers ourselves in order to make sure that attack, which is also quite cheap, does max out at its 120 damage, and with the first attack we can pick off things in the bench. And finally, for support, we have the obligatory 2 Shaymin for standard and the Shaymin EX Full Art, which I will be giving away in just a little under a week. Now, as far as supporters go, we have the 4 Sycamore, of course, 2 Birch in order to help us draw a bit more cards, 1 Judge to disrupt our pick who we want to attack, 1 Giovanni's just in case we need that extra 20 damage, or it could potentially become draw, but it's mostly for the 20 extra damage effect. 1 AC to get us out of sticky situations, potentially save Shaymin, reuse Shaymin, or keep it out of the field in order to ensure there's really no risk of it getting Lysandered and us losing. 4 Verse Seekers in order to get out or reuse all of these supporters. 4 Ultra Balls in order to make sure we can get all our Pokemon out. 3 Trainer's Mail to access all the big range of supporters and trainer cards we are using. 2 Battle Compressor in order to help us pick and choose what supporter we want to use, and also get basic energy into the discard pile in order to make sure Manectric EX's Turbo Bolt does maximum damage and we get maximum recovery out of it. 1 Escape Rope, situational, but it can be very useful, and I definitely really liked using it in my Manectric Crowbar deck, so I have it in here. This could be any other utility card, such as Enhanced Hammer, potentially a 3rd Head Ringer, something like that, so feel free to use something different. I just really like Escape Rope. 3 Spirit Links in order to Mega Evolve without losing our turn. 3 Assault Vests in order to reduce damage done from Pokemon like Mewtwo or Night Marchers, and pretty much everything else, or everything, is using some sort of special energy. 2 Head Ringers, like I said earlier, they allow you to delay your opponent. They help you power up Manectric EX's attack, so they're pretty useful. And finally, 4 Rough Seas in order to be able to abuse the low retreat costs off of our Pokemon and heal off the damage that our opponent has dealt to us. Finally, we have 4 Flash Energy. That is because, as we have seen in the previous weeks, there is a lot of fighting going around, especially online, so this will definitely prove very useful. And 7 basic Lightning Energy to keep on powering up our Pokemon. I think it's a very healthy amount. Now, just looking at this, I think I'm going to make a quick change. I'm going to take out this Manectric and I'm going to put in a Hoopa. It's been a while since we've used Hoopa, and I think it's definitely going to be very useful. So, the deck is saved, and let's find our first game of the week. We will of course feature 2 battles. Wow, there's already a new ladder. So yeah, since the AI UI since the UI changed, I've really done my outside practice, or rather my tournament series practice outside of Pokemon Trading Card Game Online, mostly live. So that's why I never finish the ladders or anything, but I don't really mind. I mean, we lose out on some free booster packs or coins, but it's not really a big deal. Now, our start is pretty hideous, but at least we get the Ultra Ball to go for that Hoopa. Now, we do see Darkness Energy, which I'm pretty happy to see because we should just completely run over any sort of Yveltal deck. And wow, I got really scared because I thought I wasn't I wasn't recording this video, but I definitely am recording. So gonna Ultra Ball. I don't think I'll need the Head Ringer because honestly Mega Manectric should run through my opponent's deck. The Flash Energy will definitely be important though. Our second Shaman is available to us, so I'm going to grab Hoopa, and yeah, so right away the change I made just before I start the video, or as you saw during the video, will definitely make a difference for us here. I could grab 2 Manectrics instead of the Mega in order to draw an extra card, and I think that's what I will do, because we really don't absolutely need the Mega, especially now that Shaman is active. We really can't retreat it unless we top deck our AC. I mean, we could potentially draw a Battle Compressor in order to get it, but I don't want to rely on that. So oh boy, here we go. 3 versus Seekers. Welcome back. Wow. I have no words for that. I promised people I would not complain so much about my luck, so we'll see what we top deck and make do with what we get. We might be in for a couple of unstable turns. Now, my opponent most surely runs Gallet here. And yeah, there's a Maxis. He got rid of 2 DCs and a Zoroark. So Zoroark is definitely something I have to keep in mind. He decides to bench an Yveltal EX, which is pretty surprising. Attaches his third TCE to that Yveltal, so that's something important to keep in mind. And looks like we are not going to top deck out of this just yet, but we can simply attach to our Manectric, and eventually next turn we can Ultra Ball, Mega Evolve, and start just running through our opponent's deck. And since we do have the Flash Energy, we do have protection against that Galad. Not to mention that that's his third DC, so potentially he only has one DC left in order to power up Galad in one turn. Whereas we could, if he decides to manually power it up, or rather through 2 basic Darkness Energy, we could be able to Lysander it up and 2-hit KO it. But we'll see how that goes. Now attaching a Flash Energy to a Raikou, now that would be amazing. But as we can see, my opponent will recover the Zoroarks and a Shaman. Not bad for him. He's trying to get that Galad out, that's why he's using up all of these cards. But that Headringer on Yveltal, I mean, Yveltal was going to be KO'd in one hit anyways, but the Headringer makes it so it's less of a threat for sure, and we really don't need more than 2 energy on our Pokemon, and as long as we don't bench any other Pokemon, our regular Manectric should be safe from Zoroark. So my opponent Oblivion Wings for 30 damage. He will be able to power up with an extra energy on that Yveltal. We do top deck a Flash Energy, but I cannot attach that to Shaman in order to retreat, so I'm just gonna have to sacrifice both my Verse Seekers, and I really hope between my next top deck or I mean, what I could do is power up a Shaman, I guess, with Turbo Bolt, and then next turn attack with Shaman and recover. But since I do 1-hit KO everything my opponent has, I don't think that's necessary. If he brings up Yveltal and does a lot of damage, he does a lot of damage. But since he does have the tool and he somehow KOs us, I will power up this Manectric. And we have our prize and our top deck in order to get out of the sticky situation we're in. Our prize is a Flash Energy, so no lack of energy for sure, but I would have really liked to see something different. Now he does promote Yveltal, so he shouldn't be able to KO us. I mean, he's dealing 80 damage right now from his energy plus our 2 more, that's 120 damage. Another DCE would be 160 damage. So worst case scenario, he plays the stadium that does 20 extra to the Megas, that's 180 damage. So there's absolutely no way he can KO my Mega Manectric. And next turn I can simply retreat, heal off the damage, and take the KO with the benched Manectric, further preventing any extra damage or potential KO on the active Mega Manectric. So things are looking pretty great, honestly. He might get the maxis now though. Well, let me see. He got a maxis off of the Trainer's Mail. So if he finds a way to play one more card and his top deck, he could get Galad out next turn, but there's only one DC left. So that's something very important to consider. Looks like he doesn't even want to risk the Yveltal. He doesn't want to deal any damage. He's just going to bring up the other Yveltal. So we finally do top deck a Birch. Now the question is, do I want to attach a Flash Energy to my bench Manectric, potentially allowing my opponent's Yveltal EX to do more damage, but preventing a 1-hit KO from Galad? I think it's worth it. So even though I do add 20 more damage to Yveltal's attack, I don't mind flipping tails, to be honest. Now I don't want to power up anything, so I'm gonna play the compressor, but I'm not gonna put any energy in my discard pile. But yeah, I think it's worth it for the 20 extra damage to ensure you have a KO on that Galad. Now I will get rid of one Sycamore just in case I'm able to draw it to draw not our last Verse Seeker, I guess, or one of the two last Verse Seekers. There's two, yeah. We have two left, so it's worth it. And what else do I get rid of? I don't think we're going to feature Raikou in this matchup, so gonna get rid of one. I'm gonna get rid of the I'm gonna get rid of the AC just in case he tries to stall us out with Hoopa or something like that. He does have a lower deck though, so even that wouldn't really help him. And at this point, wow, okay, just one prize. Another Rough Sea is pretty useless at this point. My opponent didn't get any other energy into play. It's the same scenario as last time with a DCE and potentially a Stadium, which I really doubt he plays. He's going to be dealing 180 damage. So, I mean, I'm pretty confident we're gonna win this game. And I don't know, it just feels like so long ago. It's been so long since we won the first game of the week. There's a Galad finally for my opponent. So his deck is pretty thin, so he probably will have access to the last DCE, but both our Manectrics are protected from Galad's attack, and like I said, I do have the Lysander in my hand. So if he attacks with Yveltal right now, I'm just gonna take the KO with my benched Manectric, because I will have the Lysander in order to win the game next turn. He's about to deck out too, so I could even just stall and deck him out for the win. So yeah, I'm feeling really confident. He thins out his deck by one more card with the Trainer's Mail by picking the Compressor. I don't know what he was looking for. He already attached an energy. He's not going to give him a Manectric, so I'm feeling pretty confident here. I would feel even more confident if I had a Raikou or another Manectric benched, but that's not the case just yet. It's really not a problem though. He stands in, so he's probably going to sacrifice the Zorua right here. So, wow, Zorua break. Okay, very nice. He's already attached an energy, so not very threatening still. And okay, he decides to leave the Zorak break to take the hit. But I do top deck an Assault Vest, so if he gets the DCE, I will further reduce the damage he deals to me. And I did get a Lysander. Well, I had it since last turn, so I'm going to KO the Yveltal that's powered up. Do I want to power up anything? Not really. I mean, I guess I don't know. I guess there's really no point. I mean, I could, yeah, okay. I will power up the Shaman. And I will take the KO with the benched Manectric. Okay, let me just check. Yeah, he chooses the active Pokemon, so I'm going to take the prize with this Manectric so that he can't copy Turbo Volt and power up something. That's why I'm retreating. So even though both my Pokemon could have gotten the KO, and I'm really only one Lysander away from winning, I do have the protection of the Assault Vest, the Flash Energy, if he gets his last DC right now, and there's really no point in letting him power up something on the bench like that Yveltal with 2 basic Darkness, which he does have in his discard pile. So I think that was the smartest move. Now looks like he does want to take a KO with Galad, but he's in a pickle because his only chance, or I don't know what supporter he wants to use. Hex Maniac, okay. That's interesting. I think Lysander would have been a better option, because his only shot at winning is probably by KOing either Shaman or Hoopa or something like that. I don't think he has enough turns to win this match, but I'm just gonna heal my Manectric here. I'm going to retreat into Shaman. I'm gonna pay the basic energy so that I can keep my other flash energy and still have no weakness. I'm gonna attach to this. There's really no point in attacking with anything else because I can't KO, and this 30 damage does put him into regular Manectric range. So gonna attach the Assault Vest to this Raikou. I could Mega Evolve, though there's no point to that because I do have the Assault Vest, so I would lose my turn. I will play the Spirit Link just to have less cards in my hand, and I'm just gonna Sky Return. I was hoping to hit the Lysander or a Verse Seeker off of that Birch, but unfortunately I did not. And I think, I mean, he has to play a supporter if he wants to do something important here. And the Escape Rope means we can KO anything on his bench. Well, not the Zorak Break, I guess. And yeah, he concedes. So, I mean, we were going to win eventually. My opponent was just complicating things by switching and retreating and all of that. And he decked himself. So, first win of the week. Pretty nice, not gonna lie. And let's find our second game right away, shall we? 25 extra coins for our booster pack breakpoints booster pack opening later on in the week. And since people have been very nice and I do have a lot of booster packs, let me just turn on the other lights. One sec. There we go. Since we do have a lot of booster packs, thanks to the nice people who have donated, I shouldn't have any issue getting absolutely everything I want from the new set. So that makes me very happy. Now my opponent does go first. I didn't see what he was using. He does have a lightning coin, and people usually like you can see I'm using the Pikachu sleeves and I have the yellow tech bugs. So those are usually good tells on what your opponent wants to use. And wow, it's actually an Excadrill Bronzong Dialga deck, so a pure metal deck. We have an inherent advantage in that we have resistance, so that's obviously pretty nice. Now, I'm hesitant to attach the Flash Energy just because I don't think he will have any fighting type Pokemon, and he could potentially play Enhanced Hammer. Or Aegislash could also be an issue. So, no, I'm still gonna play the Flash instead. I will use my Battle Compressor. I will get rid of one energy because I will be discarding another one right now. What else could I want to discard? Potentially a Lysander or the AC. Yeah, I'm gonna choose Battle Compressor and I'm gonna click the AC just so that I can have it more readily available. Now the Assault Vest could be important here, but Raikou already has it. So, because if my opponent wants to attack next turn, he has to attach a DC, which will reduce the damage plus the resistance. And if he doesn't, it will force him to use the first attack to power up with 2 more metal energy onto that Drill Burr. Now, I'm gonna play the Ultra Ball. I'm going to get rid of Giovanni and the other Raikou. And here, if Hoopa is available, which it isn't, I would have gotten Hoopa, but since it's not, I'm just gonna get the Manectric. I fortunately have supporters, so I don't really need to Shaman right now. Hopefully we see a Spirit Link here. Wow. Yeah, so that's pretty lucky. That will allow us to evolve and potentially Sycamore. And I will simply pass my turn here. It'd be amazing to see my opponent attach a DCE, because with my Shining Body ability and the Assault Vests, Excadrill will not be dealing any damage at all, I don't think. Well, now with the Muscle Band he will be dealing some damage, but he does attach the DCE to the bench Dialga, and he will use Dredge to power up the 2 basic energies. So he is able to Macluff for 50 damage. So we might be in a little bit of trouble, but Excadrill does have 110 HP. So as long as the energies flow right now, as long as I'm able to power up 1 Mega Manectric, I don't foresee this becoming a problem. He will KO Raikou, but a single energy attachment, I think, is going to be will mean game, most likely. And we even get the Rough Seas, which will not save our Raikou unless I retreat here. Is retreating something I want to do? Dialga is quite scary. Yeah, I definitely want to retreat here. Gonna conserve the Sycamore, although since I do plan on getting Shaman, I could have conserved the Lysander instead, but we do have access to 3-verse Seeker still. Yeah, so getting Shaman here is pretty okay. There's the extra cards. I will retreat Raikou here into my Mega Manectric, just because he will deal a lot of damage, but I will be able to KO. He has no cards in his hand, and yeah, I'm feeling pretty safe here. Gonna Trainer's Mail. Could get the Spirit Link, I guess, because I do have the Ultra Ball. So if I get 2 Mega Manectrics out, I think that will be game. I'm gonna go for that. Gonna discard the 2 basics because I will be able to get them back. I will get my regular Manectric. And I mean, I could just rotate and heal up and things like that. Even sacrifice Raikou. It's really not a big deal. I guess the right play would have been to sacrifice Raikou. See what my opponent top decks. The last 3 times that someone against me in a real life tournament was left without a hand, they literally top deck Sycamore the last 3 times, and that was in top cuts of a tournament. So you can imagine I was not very happy about that. I will be able to attach though, take the KO onto Excadrill, and bench another Raikou. I don't see a problem with that. I unfortunately can't Headringer the Dialga, but I can power up another Mega Manectric, and if he has no way to KO us, which at the moment he doesn't, Dialga will not do enough damage. We should be okay here by retreating and healing up our active Mega Manectric. So Rough Seas is a really powerful card. Really, really powerful. It's one I really like. And Mega Manectric is just truly amazing. And there's the victory, yeah. Fortunate that my opponent didn't really have a hand. He got a pretty okay start, but he couldn't... He fizzled out. His start fizzled out. So that will be all for today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. I truly appreciate your support. Now, here's a challenge for you. Over in the Spanish section of the video game videos, they got a video up to 100 likes, and I was really surprised, or I think a little bit more. So they're really showing the support for the channel because they really enjoy the content. But these are the videos, especially the Monday videos, that get the most views. So can we get this video to 100 likes? Takes 1 second. Just scroll down, click, and that's it. If we get to 100 likes, I will make an extra video for you guys in English on Saturday. So it's up to you guys. If you want an extra video featuring this deck or something different, feel free to leave a comment suggesting something different. It's really up to you guys. Get this video to 100 likes and I will make it happen. So, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you tomorrow in Spanish or on Wednesday in English. Alright, bye bye.